So this podcast that you're about to listen to is pre-recorded before Justin Lee made his apology video, the heartfelt video, which I didn't believe at all. I don't believe his apology. I thought it was very insincere and patronizing. So I just want you to know that this recording was made before he made that very insincere apology video.
But all these manipulative mind games, throwing sand at me at the playground like we're in kindergarten, 1 minute and then saying you love me the next. Come on, you don't think I see right all through this? Come on. We are people with opinions and they seek us out looking to be offended so that they can get more donations to go to a lawyer that doesn't exist. The difference between me and them is I'm honest.
Oh, this is a subject that I don't really want to tackle, but I'm going to have to do it. I don't know if any of you have noticed that Justin Lee, which is not his full name, and yes, his channel was doxed, or his name was doxed, sorry, and first doxed on my channel from a sub of his that he blocked. He talks about freedom of speech, but he actually blocked a sub. And I'm not going to say if it's a he or she, they did some background research, some investigation on him and came back to my channel and told me his full name. Justin Lee's not his full name. Justin Lee's not his full name. Lee's not his last name. And I'm not going to tell you what his last name is. I'm not going to tell you what his address is. All of these things I know, and I'm not going to say that. I will never dox him, ever. And the only thing that I'll tell you about Justin Lee in terms of the information that I was given about him is that he's a registered Republican. And that's all I'm going to say. But I don't know if you've noticed, but Justin has been very angry lately. And his videos, I think, represent his increasing anger. And a lot of people don't realize that some of that anger that he has inside of him is geared towards me. And the more angry he gets with me is the more angry he gets with the R's. And the more angry he gets with the R's is the more angry he gets with me. Oh, it's such a complex situation. I still care about Justin, but I decided that I was going to distance myself from him for a while, which made him feel rejected and made him feel like I was canceling him. And, in a lot of his videos, you can see, he tells a lot of lies about me. There's also a lot of paranoia of me and Frankie Jr., who he absolutely despises. And I told you this. I told you in a last podcast about him that he despises the R's and particularly Frankie. And doesn't want me to have anything to do with him, and he's suspicious of any remote association I have with Frankie. What you've seen in Justin Lee's latest videos is increasing anger and increasing hatred and hate speech of the Rusex. And like I said, the more angry he gets towards me is the more anger he feels towards them, and the more he spouts off nonsense and lies. Like I said, I still care about Justin, but his behavior really sucks. So this is an interjection. If I try to cut contact with him and I don't speak to him for a while, he sees that as a rejection. Justin sees that as a rejection. I'm canceling him, or he gets suspicious. If I try to cut contact with him or I don't speak to him for a while, he doesn't like that at all. He really hates that. But then if I'm too nice to him, if I'm overly nice, I'm always a little bit flirtatious. That's just my way. And so is he, but he's just a lot more subtle. And if I'm too nice and a little, I've got that little sugar in me, then that means I'm being too overt. He doesn't like my clothes that I'm wearing. I'm too suggestive. I'm being manipulative. Doesn't like my low cut tops. I'm being overly whatever with him. So I can't win, because if I cut contact with him, he doesn't like that. He wants me to speak to him all the time. He wants my attention. He wants, he wants to have access to me whenever he can get it. And he's always on my channel. Even when he doesn't write anything, he comes to my channel all the time. And then, so if I cut contact, I can't win there because he gets angry if I try to cut contact with him. And then if I'm flirtatious or overly nice to him, and he's also flirtatious, but I said, he's a lot more subtle with his flirtation. And if I'm overly sweet to him and nice, then that means I'm trying to manipulate him. So I can't win no matter what I do. But regardless of all this, I still like him. I hate so many things about him. I think he's, I think that the guy's a psycho, like I said. But he is very entertaining also. I mean, watching him, he's a very entertaining person. You couldn't say that he's boring. He's been too nice to me in the beginning for me to be able to say, I don't like this person. There are things that I like about him. I do think he's charming and all these things, and charismatic. So it's kind of like a situation where you can't win no matter what you do, and it's kind of like a love-hate thing. That's what it is, really. He has a lot of stresses in his own life as well. So, there's a lot of things going on with him. Like I said, I can't completely switch him off. I'll go for a time without speaking to him, but he was very nice to me in the beginning. And I don't really want to go into too much detail, but he's somebody that even when he screws up and he says these ridiculous things, tells these outlandish lies, he said that I was funneling money to Junior. That is a complete lie, which he'll never have proof for, because it's, that is just something that he made up. He is willing to throw me under the bus when he gets angry with me. And fair enough. I think that's a psychopathic part of him. I also think he has a bipolar gene as well. Like, he can switch very, very, very easily. And he's not somebody to mess with. When he gets angry, he's really angry. And he's even more angry than he appears to be. And, I think that there's some danger with that. But, he's willing to throw me under the bus and lie about me when he gets angry with me. Having said that, I think that his anger towards me is not completely unjustified, because he was very nice to me at the beginning and he let me use a lot of clips of him. He said that I can use any clip of him, any video of him, any footage. He gave me permission. So that's the reason, and if somebody gives you permission to use clips of them and then they hear you criticizing them, it's of course they're going to be offended. But I've also said great things about him too. But, Justin wants adulation and my constant attention. And he doesn't want me to criticize him. He just wants adulation because that's what his mostly mature female subs give him. And I'm not that type of person. Everybody has flaws, including myself. I can sit here and criticize myself. So many things about myself, and I will do that one day. I'll actually do that one day and tell you all the flaws that I have. Justin wants my constant attention, my focus, and my and adulation, and he doesn't want me to criticize him in any way. And I also think now his channel has just become, it's almost like it's an us and them mentality that he has, us versus them. He's a Watts fan. He even said that if Cindy and Ronnie were to get a channel, that he would be the first subscriber and that he would love to give them money, which just makes my stomach turn. It really, really does. It's just become, his channel has just become hating on the Rusex. He doesn't want them to make any money. Any money that they get, he wants it to go to him instead. He's increasing he absolutely despises Frankie Jr. particularly him, not so much the dad, but particularly him. And his channel has just become rage, anger that he feels in his own life, but also that he's now projecting towards ours, and also the anger that he feels towards me when I don't give him the praise, adulation that he thinks that he deserves, or when I try and distance myself. When I try and distance myself, or I don't, I cut contact with him for a while, he gets upset because he thinks he sees that as rejection. And I think that there might be something going on there. Maybe he has a fear of rejection. But to me, he's a very much like a Charles Manson-like figure now. He has all these female followers that are mostly mature, older than me, that don't like me. And there's just a lot of hate speech that he does towards the other side, ours, that I just don't like and I don't agree with. And a lot of worshipping of Chris Watts and a lot of worshipping of Cindy and Ronnie Watts, which I just don't understand and I don't agree with.